Hi everyone, very good evening and welcome back to Geeks for Geeks practice. Welcome back to another problem of the day as well. So today we'll be solving yesterday's problem of the day, that was longest palindrome in a string. This problem is really good and I assure you that by the end of this session you will understand each and everything about this problem and how to approach such kind of problems. Hi Rishit as well. So guys, you can give me a +1 in the chat if everything is working fine, and then I will proceed further with today's session. Okay. So everyone can give me a +1. Hi Vanshika Kapoor as well. Hi Mau as well, and hi to all of the other people as well. So the problem is really interesting. It's a very good problem, and as you know, I love DP. So today we'll be understanding another dimension of DP, right? So how to think about certain things. So what I will do is I'll just share my screen quickly, and then we'll start off with the session as well. So yeah, I'm sharing this screen now. I hope that it is visible. All right. So let us quickly have a look at the problem statement and see what the problem statement says, and then we'll discuss further. If you will see this problem, that is nothing but longest palindrome in a string. Okay. So basically, what you will be given is you will be given a string. Okay, you will be given a string, and let's say that a string can be what? It can be anything, right? And whatever string has been given to you, let's say that string is st and it is consisting of some characters. So what you have to do in this particular string, whatever string has been given to you have to find the longest palindrome in the string. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to find the longest palindrome in this string. Okay, longest palindrome in this string, right? So suppose what can happen is, if I will write something like this, suppose I will write FARH. Okay, then after that I am writing what? RAJU, something like this, and I am also writing something like RANCHO, and suppose in between I have something like this. Okay, MADAM, right? Just give me a second. So if I have something like this, MADAM, so what I have to tell is I have to tell the longest, right? I have to tell the longest palindrome in this string. So you can see very clearly that this will be the longest palindrome, right? This particular part. Please write yes in the chat. Is this much part clear? Please write yes in the chat, guys, if you are clear with this much part, right? So basically, madam is going to be the longest palindromic substring, because substring is contiguous in nature. So in this case, madam is going to be the longest palindromic substring. Is this much part clear to everyone? Please tell me, and then I will proceed further. Okay. So basically, if I have been given a string, so in that I have to get this thing. I have to, in this case, for this string, I have to return madam, because I think madam is going to be the largest one. Is this much clear? If yes, then you can tell me. Okay, so you can see here, and that example was taken from Three Idiots, by the way, almost, right? Kind of. So yeah, madam is the largest answer. Now you can see here, given a string S, find the longest palindromic substring. So substring is what? Contiguous in nature. Okay, then it says that substring is contiguous in nature, and string that reads same from the backward and forward. So you can see madam reads the same from the backward and forward. So that's why it is a palindromic substring. So after this, it says that you have to return the final answer. Okay, so when this thing comes to my mind, right? So what is the basic thing that comes to our mind, right? That I will check all possible, right? So understand this thing. One thing that comes to our mind is that we will try to do it using the all possible ways, right? All possible ways. So when all possible ways comes to your mind, then which technique comes to my mind? I think recursion comes to my mind. And I can also say that when all possible comes to my mind, so I can say that DP also comes to my mind, right? Basically, when I'll apply, if suppose I'm applying, thinking of recursion, so I can say that I can think of the recursive of the or the iterative DP also. So one thing is very clear. Can you share the link of this problem? Definitely yes. I will just copy this and share it in the chat right here. Okay. So yeah, you can see here, like basically DP will come into my mind. Is that clear? Please write yes in the chat. Okay. So is this much part clear? Please write yes. Okay. So in this case, you have to return the longest string. If you will stay till the end, I assure you that you will understand everything. So please hit the like button and give me a +1. I will assure you that you will understand the best possible thing today. Okay. So yeah, like basically DP comes to my mind. Now when DP comes to my mind, so what can I do here, right? If I suppose that I don't have to suppose that if the problem setter says that, if you will see this problem now, so in this you can see here that the time complexity is order of n square. Okay, because why it is order of n square? Because if I'll think about all possible combinations, so it will come in order of n square time, right? If I have to think about all possible substrings, so how much time I will take? If I have to think about all possible substrings, so I will have to run a I loop, and I also have to run a j loop. Correct? Please write yes in the chat. Correct? Are you getting my point? Such that the string is from I to j. Is this part clear? If I have to think about all possible, if I have to generate all possible substrings, so I have to run two loops. So that is why the since I will be running two loops, so it will be n square, right? So the square of the length of the string. Is this part also clear, guys? Why the expected thing is n square? If you will run all possible, if you will try to generate all possible, if you will try to run for all possible substrings, then it is going to take n square time, right? So what is the basic approach? Like if you will do what, if you are let's say you are running this loop, okay, and then you are considering the substring from I to j. Now if you are going to run a loop, another loop, okay, another order of n loop for checking whether it is palindrome or not, right? Whether it is palindrome or not, then what will happen? This loop is going to take order of n time, right? Then this loop is also going to take order of n time, and then this loop is also going to take, palindromic loop is also going to take internally order of n time. So what will happen overall? Overall it is going to take order of n cube time. Are you clear? Please write yes in the chat. So in the basic method, if you will observe, right, if you will try to generate, see, you will try to generate all possible strings, then in the substrings, in that case you have to run the I loop from 0 to n, then inside it you have to run a j loop. So this will generate the string. So suppose you have a string that starts at I and ends at j. If you are checking whether it is palindrome or not, so that will also, if you are writing a while loop for that, okay, that says that I is the starting, j is the ending, then you will take order of n time for that also. So overall you are going to take order of n cube. Okay, so how can we reduce this? Okay, how can we reduce this checking part? So that is what we have to eliminate. Is that clear? So the extra loop that I'm having now, that I have to eliminate. Is that clear to everyone or not? Please tell me, guys. Okay, so suppose if you have a particular string, so in that case, if you are this, if this is I, this is j, then you are running the loop. So this I and here I will be there, j will be there, then you will be checking that this point and this point, this point, this point. So it is going to take order of n time. So that is why it will be cubic in nature. So how do we reduce it? I didn't get you. Could you explain the for loop? Basically what I'm saying is, if you have what, let's say if you have a string like something like geeks, okay, so what will happen? One of the string will be g, then another one will be ge, then another substring will be gee, then another one will be geks, right, geks, right? So one time I will be here, j, then j will also be here, then I will be here, j will be here, then j will also move here, j will also move here, j will also move here. So that is how all the substrings are going to get generated now. And after some time, what will happen is, you can observe that I will be here, then j will be here, then I is here, j is here, then j will also move here, j will also move here, because e will be there, e will be there, then ek will be there. So I have to generate for all possible. Please write +1, guys. Are you getting why we are running I and j loop? Is that clear or not? Is this much part clear, guys? Everyone, please tell me. If up till now you are clear, then tell me, and then I will proceed further. So the main thing is that how do we reduce the time complexity? Because if we are going to check is palindrome, right? If I'm going to check for the I and j, that whether they are palindrome or not, so that is going to take order of 10 times. So how am I going to reduce that? That is the main thing. So in this now, what I can do is I can think about the dp scenario. So what does dp tell me, right? dp can help me to store the smaller results. Okay, if I know the smaller result, then the larger results can be built on top of it. Now what do I mean by this? So basically what I will do is, first of all, I will declare a dp of n. Okay, so basically I'll declare a dp of n cross n size. Is that clear? First of all, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to declare a dp of n cross n size. Okay, and what I can say is, can I say one thing, guys, very easily, right? That a single character is always going to be palindrome. Okay, a single character, okay, a single character is always palindrome, right? Is always palindrome substring, right? Palindrome substring, right? Palindrome substring, correct? So what am I going to store in this dp? Okay, what I'm going to store in this dp? So suppose if I am talking about dp of ij, okay, if I am talking about dp of ij, so there are only two values that the dp of ij can have. Okay, this is also one thing that you need to understand. If I'm having dp of ij, so if the dp of ij is 0, okay, so this will indicate that the string that if dp of see, in my dp, right, that I am declaring, you can mark it as true, false also. You can declare it as a boolean or an integer dp, anything. That totally depends on you. Suppose here I'm going to declare it as integer dp. So either the dpij value will be 0 or it will be 1. So if the dpij value is 0, so this will indicate that if a string starts from I and ends at the index j, then it is not palindrome. Okay, not palindrome. It is not palindrome. Okay, then that substring is not palindrome. If a substring starts at I and ends at J, right? So suppose that if I talk about AMAN, right? So suppose if I have this thing, so let's say this index is what, 0 1 2 3. So tell me guys, tell me this thing about DP of uh, 1 3. So it is going to be 1 or 0, please tell me. From here to here, is this substring going to be a palindromic substring? No. So it will be updated as 0, you can understand. Is that clear? Right? Are you getting my point? And suppose that, is this part clear? This is going to be 0. So that is what I want to tell you, right? If the, like, this is the starting point I, this is the ending point J, suppose. So if the DP of IJ in my DP, the DP of IJ is either going to be 0 or it is going to be 1. No other third value I am going to store. Okay. If it is 0, so this indicates that the DP, that the substring starting from the index I and ending at the index J, that particular substring is not a palindromic substring. Otherwise, if it is 1, then I will say that it is a palindromic substring. Okay. Palindromic substring. Okay. From I to J, it is a palindromic substring. Is this clear to everyone? Please write yes or no in the chat. Is this clear to everyone, guys? Please write yes or no. Please give me a +1 if you are clear. Right. This is going to be a palindromic substring. Is this much part clear? Then I will proceed further to the next part. If you are clear till now, you can hit the like button. Okay. So yeah, Mao is clear. Okay, Venkatesh is saying no. Which part you are not clear with, Venkatesh? Basically, in this case, I am saying that if a substring starts from the index I and it ends at J, so suppose it starts here at 1 and it ends at 3. So this, you can see MAN, this substring is not palindromic. So it will be 0. And otherwise, if a substring starting at I and ending at J is 1, then it will mean that it will be palindromic in nature. Is this much part clear? I hope that it is clear to all of other people. Other people are clear? Please write yes in the chat, guys. Then I will proceed further. Venkatesh, which part you are not clear with? You can tell me. Is this much part clear? Then the main part will come. Okay. Now, can I say one thing very clearly, guys? Right? Can I say one thing here very clearly, that in this particular case, na, always the substring of length 1. Okay. The very first thing is that substring of length 1 is substring of length 1. Okay. Is always going to be palindrome. Is always palindrome. Okay. Is always palindrome in nature. Right. So that is the main thing. Substring of length 1 is always going to be palindrome. Okay. Now, if the substring of length 1 is always going to be palindrome, how? So what I want to say is, if you will think about a string. So let's say if I'll think about something like, let's say Facebook. Okay. FACEBOOK. So what I'm saying is that if you talk about F, or if you talk about A, or if you talk about C, or if you talk about E, so the this is what, this is a substring from 0 0. Okay. Because it starts at 0, ends at 0, so it is going to be palindromic. This is the substring starting at 1, ending at 1. This substring is starting at 2, ending at 2. So what I want to say is that, can I mark DP of I as always 1? Please write yes in the chat. Do you think so? Can I say that I can mark DP of I as 1? Right? Because if you will observe, na, always from 0 to 0, like same length, right? Basically, I means what? A single character, right? Starting at I and ending at I, it will always be 1. Please write yes in the chat, right? DP of I can always mark as 1, right? Because if I will see the substring, right, this is what, 1 comma 1, this is 2 comma 2, a single character basically, right? So it is always going to be 1. So let me write till this much point, so that we are very much in sync with the code part also. Okay. So just give me a second, I will do this for all of you. So what I will do is, let's say initially I can say that I will declare a DP of n size, n cross n. Okay. And then I am going to first of all run a loop. So let's say int I starts from 0. Okay. And I is lesser than, I will do n, and I will do I plus plus, right? After that, what I will say is that DP of I is always going to be 1, right? Because it means that a single character or a substring of single length is always going to be palindromic in nature, right? So everyone is clear till this point. Very good. Now moving on to the next part, right? Moving on to the next part. Now I will, what do you think? Like a substring of length 1 is always going to be 1, right? Now if you think about the substring of length 2, okay, so what about the substring of length 2, right? Substring of length 2, let's think about that. Substring of length 2. Okay, length 2. then I can say the in that case what will happen. See, substring of length 1 was what? Starting at I and ending at I. So I will always mark it as 1. Please write yes in the chat. Is that clear? But what about the substring of length 2, right? So in this case, if it happens that s of I, right, in the string, if the ith character is equal to the I plus 1th character, na guys, is that clear? If the ith character is equal to the I plus 1th character, right? So if the two adjacent characters are same, then I can say that what I can say that dp of I plus 1, okay, it is going to be 1, right? It is going to be a palindromic substring of length 2. Is this part also clear? Please write yes in the chat, right? If the ith and I plus 1th guys are same, then I can say that I dp of I plus 1 will be marked as 1. Is this part also clear? Like, this is the basic initialization that I am doing. If I will consider the substring of length 2, so if the starting point is I, then the ending point will be I plus 1. So if the starting and the ending characters are same, because the length is only 2, na, so I and I plus 1, if they are same, then I will mark it as 1. Is that clear also? Right. Other people are also clear with this? Please hit the like button and give me a +1 if you are clear with this part, guys. It's very interesting. Okay. So yeah, what I will do now is I will say that, okay, for int, okay, I starts from 0, I is less than n, and I plus plus. Now notice one thing, you have to notice one thing, okay. So I will say that if it happens that s of I is equal to s of I plus 1, right, then you will tell me to do what? You will tell me to do dp of I plus 1, as I'm going to mark it as 1, okay, indicating that a substring starting from I and ending at I plus 1. So basically a substring of length 2, it is palindromic if ith and I plus 1th character are same. But can I always run can I run I till less than n? No, because you have to understand one thing now. If suppose that I have a particular substring, let's say I have Rishit, okay, ris, let me take this as Yash itself, right? So if I have this particular string y, then I have a, then I have s, then I have h, okay. So suppose if this is my ith character, then I have the I plus 1th available here, okay. Suppose if this is my ith character, then I have I plus 1 available here, right? Because you can see here now, if I am talking about, let's say, yash, so you can see that if when this is I, then this is I plus 1. When this is I, then this is I plus 1 is available. When this is I, then I plus 1 is available. But what about the last character? For that, I plus 1 is not available now. For the last character, the next character is not available. So why, when I have written yash, then you can see that when this will be ith character now, so no I plus 1th character is present here. So till where my I should be running? Can you tell me, guys? I should be running till less than n minus 1. My I can maximum go till here only. Are you getting the point? Yes or no? Please write yes in the chat. Because I and I plus 1, the last valid pair that I can consider is this one only. So I will go till less than n. Are you getting? I will not go till the end of the string. Is that clear? Yeah. I plus, yeah, you can say that I plus 1 is less than n. You can also write it like this. Is that clear to everyone? Or you can write that I is less than n minus 1, same thing. Is that clear to everyone? Right. You can write it as I is less than n minus 1. Less than n minus 1, yeah, basically correct. So yeah, this much part is clear. So I will write what I is less than n minus 1, right? This till now everyone is clear. Please write yes in the chat, and then I will proceed further as well. Okay. Also, one more thing, we need to store the starting and the ending indexes, because we want to generate the string later on, and we also want to store the maximum length. So initially I am going to mark the maximum length as 1, right? Because since at least one character is going to be given, so the this mx is going to store the maximum length of the palindromic substring. So initially I'll mark the maximum as 1. And another thing that I will do is, initially I'll say that L will be 0 and R will be 0. Because initially if I'm considering the maximum length as 1, then I have to consider the very first substring. So I will consider L as 0 and R as 0. So whichever is the very first substring. So suppose I am talking about Yash. So if there is only of length 1, if the answer is of only length 1, so I should return Y here. Are you getting? So that is why initially N and R, L and R are going to tell me the starting and the ending of the palindromic substring, because I have to return the string here. Okay. So that is why L and R are, I will in the end iterate from L to R to store the final string. Okay. Is this much part clear to everyone? Then I will proceed further. Is this much part clear? Now I will have to consider for the length of 3. Okay. See, please write +2 in the chat. Okay. For the length 1, I have already considered. Okay. When the length is equal to 1, then I have told you that we will directly mark dp of I as 1, right? Because we will say that it is always going to be true, right? I is 1 means that substring starting at I and ending at I is always going to be palindromic. So I'll mark it as 1. For the length 2 also, now we will do what, we can say that if it happens, right? So just a second, give me a second. So for length 2, if it happens that dp of I plus 1, right? If it is sorry, very sorry, for the length 2, I can simply say that if ith string is ith character, sorry, is equal to I plus 1th character, very okay, then in that case what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark the dp of I and I plus 1 as 1. Please write plus 2 in the chat if you're clear till now, and then I will proceed further, guys. Okay, length 1 is also clear to all of us, right? For length 1 we can directly say that dp of I will be 1, and for length 2 we can say that dp of I plus 1 is going to be 1 if the ith and I plus 1th character are the same. Plus 2 in the chat, guys, and then I will proceed further to the next portion. And you can hit the like button as well if you have got the approach till now, but you have to write plus 2 in the chat. Okay, and make sure to hit the like button if you're clear till now. All right, others are also clear till now. Okay, so yes, so here you can see that I have stored this as 1. Then here what I will do is now I will I can simply say that I will mark dp of I plus 1 as 1. That is fine. And another thing that I will do is what, I will let you know after that. But yeah, this much point is clear. Now what I also want to make you understand here is that, will you length like see, will you do a manual running for all the lengths? Please tell me, please write yes or no. Will you write another thing for length 3, length 4, length 5 up till length n? Are you going to do that? Are you going to do that? B, see, basically length is 1, length is 2. Then will you do like, will you write another separate thing for length of 3, length of 4, length of 5 up till length of n? No, please write no in the chat. We are not going to do it, right? See, we have written the base cases for length is equal to 1 and length is equal to 2 because these were the base cases, right? These were the base cases. But will you keep on writing separate cases for length when the length is 3, right? When the length is 4, when the length is up till n? So will you keep on writing separate cases for it? Definitely not, right? You will have to we can run a loop. Please write loop in the chat. So for this we can run a loop. Is that clear to everyone? Okay, we will run a loop, so please write loop in the chat. So what I'm going to do is, for the rest of the length I am going to run the loop. So what I will do here is I will say that int, let's say the length will start from 3 and length is less equal to n. Okay, is that clear to everyone, where n is the length of the string? So let me take n value here. Int n is equal to s dot size. Okay, s dot length also you can say. So basically n is the size of the string. So n length starts from 3, and if the length starts from 1, understand, right? We have already considered 1 and 2. So now we are going to consider the length as 3, 4, 5 up till n. Are you getting my point? So that is why we will run a loop for that. Okay, then what am I going to do here? That is the main thing here, right? So here what we will do is, now we are going to consider the starting and the ending point. Okay, because you will see here, when I was considering for the length as 2, na guys, when I was considering for the length as 2, so can I very safely say that this index I was the starting point for the length as 2? I was the starting point, okay, and I plus 1 was the ending point. Please write yes in the chat. Okay, so in that case we used to, if the starting and the ending were same, then we used to mark it as 1. That a string starting from here and ending here, it is 1. It means that it is palindromic, right? So here also I need to have a starting loop for this point. Okay, so initially I can have the starting point where I can mark the starting point as 0. Please write yes in the chat. Are you clear? Same thing that we did here, na? In the length 2, I started from 0. Is that clear, guys? In the when we were running for length is equal to 2. Okay, when we were running a separate loop for length is equal to 2, then here I indicates the starting point, I plus 1 indicated the ending point. So when we are considering here, so initially the starting point can be 0. Are you getting? Starting point will be the will be the start. Are you getting my point? If I have like, if suppose I have a particular string right here, okay, so what will and I'm considering the length as 3. Suppose my length is 3. Okay, so I will consider from here till here, right? So this I will consider as the start. Then I will consider from here to here, right? So this I will consider as the start. So initially the start is always going to start from 0. Now are you getting? Then after that I am going to have a loop, like I will have a loop my start will come here, right? So I need to run a loop for it. Is that clear to everyone? Please write yes in the chat. Is everyone clear? Because similar to this, now when you were checking for the length as 2, when you had this particular array, then you had the length as 2. So you were doing when the length was 2, then you were checking for I and I plus 1, na? So sorry, this is for length 3, this one, right? This is for length 3. When you were checking it for length 2, then you were I plus 1 was the ending point, right? So like see, when the length was 2, so what was the ending point? When the length was 2, then if I was the starting, okay, if this was the start, then I plus 1 was the ending point, okay. So what was the last valid I value till which you were running, right? You were checking that I is what, I is less than equal to sorry, I is less than what, I is less than n minus I is less than n, like sorry, you were running till where I is less equal to n minus 1 na? Here, sorry, you were running sorry, you are going to run I is less than n minus 1, yeah, sorry, I is less than n less than equal to n minus 2, basically the second last character you were running now, because that was the last valid for you. Because if you have I here, right, so you will have I plus 1 here, okay. So that is why you were running till the last valid point. So here also, will the start run till the end? No, start will can run till where, right? Because ultimately at some point is what is the last starting valid point, that is what I'm considering. So the last starting valid point suppose can be here, and this is where the end will be. So what is the last starting point? Because see, if I will consider something like this, suppose if I keep my start here, right, so then when I will find the ending for it, then I will get a out of bound. Please write yes in the chat, agree. Then I will get a runtime error. If suppose that I keep running my start, and suppose if I allow my start to be here, then the ending will be considered here, and then I will get a runtime error, because this is wrong, this is wrong, this is a wrong thing, okay. So in that case, what I will do here is, in that case, suppose if this is the last valid start that I am considering, right, so suppose that it ends and this is where it should end. So what should be the start that I will consider? So I will say that start plus this thing, right? What is going to be the ending point? So ending point is always going to be start plus length minus 1, okay. It should always be less equal it should always be less than equal to this thing. What should I say here? It should always be less than equal to the ending last character. Is this part clear to everyone or not? Okay. Are you getting this point, guys, or not getting this point? Please tell me. Is this part clear or not clear? Maybe some people are not clear with this. I will just explain you once again, right? So if you will see here, right, let's talk about let's say my length is 3, okay. Let's say my length is 3, and I am considering these indexes right here. Thanks a lot, Siddharth Hazra. Siddharth Sidopi, you can write, guys, in the chat. So yeah, you can see here, suppose I have 0 here, I have 1 here, I have 2 here, okay, I have 3 here, and I have the guy 4 here, right? Now what I'm saying is, what will be the, if I'm considering the length as 3, so what will be the last starting point? Can I say that this will be the last starting point, right? Because if I consider the starting from here, so the length 3 will be this much only, right? And after this, from here to here, I will not have any string. Clear, guys? Are you getting my point? So I have to consider that till where my start should go. Are you getting? Please write yes in the chat, guys. Okay. Are you getting this point? This is the last starting point that like see, start will start from 0. I agree to you, right? Start will be start loop will start from 0. So this can also be the starting point. See, 0 will be the starting point. This will also be the starting point, because from here to here you will consider. Then this is also going to be the starting point. But after that, if you consider this as the starting point, then you will never find a length of 3. So you're going to get a runtime error. So that is why what I want to say here is that till where is your start going? Because see, I agree to you that start will start from here, right? But the last is this one. So how am I considering that? So if you will see here, this is what start. So 2 plus what? 2 plus length, 2 plus 3, okay. 2 plus 3 is 5. See, 2 plus 3 is 5, right? 2 plus 3 is 5. But is it going till 5? Tell me. See, if I am considering that till where it will go. So see, if the start is here, right, if the start it as at this place, and this is 2, so in that case, the substring of length 3 will go from where? From here till here, right? So minus 1 also I should write, correct? Is that clear? That I should write what? This is the thing that I'm writing. Start plus the length minus 1. That is the index till which I'm going. And if this so if this so if when will this start be valid? When I don't exceed, because of this, because when I'll consider the ending, so when it does not exceed. So start plus length minus 1, okay, if it is less than equal to n minus 1, okay. Is that clear to everyone? Please write yes in the chat and clear in the chat, guys. Please make sure to hit the like button if you're clear with this point, okay. Please hit the like button, give me a +1 or clear plus plus clear in the chat if you are clear with this point. Is this point clear to you guys? Please let me know. Are you clear with this point or not, guys? Please tell me. Hit the like button if you're clear with this, right? So if I'm running the start, so see, in the normal when you were considering the size 2, right? So you were having this as I and I plus 1, right? And then for the last guy, you were having uh, I and I plus 1. This was not there. So that is why what you did there was the same thing you did there also, right? For when the length was 2, then normally what we write that I should be less than like I should be less than n minus 1. So I should be less equal to n minus 2. That is the last that I can go there. So basically there also we do the same thing. I plus length is less I plus length minus 1, okay, is less equal to n minus 1. That is what we do there also. Because if you will see now, so what we do, I plus 2 minus 1 is less equal to n minus 1. So what we do is we do something like this. Sorry, yeah, we do this thing, I plus 1, okay, then is less equal to n minus 1. Okay, then if you will move this here, then I is less equal to n minus 2, no, because you can only run for till the second last. If you want the length of 2, then you can only run till the second last. Please write yes. Are you getting my point? If you want for the length 2, so only you can run till the second last, right? Because for the second last guy, right, you for this ith guy you will have a I plus 1th guy. Are you getting? So I can go till this thing only. So there also you do the same thing, but you don't analyze this. But there also you do I plus length minus 1 is less equal to this. Are you getting my point? Please write yes and clear in the chat if everyone is clear till now. Are you guys clear till now? Please let me know if it is clear or not, and then I will proceed further with all of you. Okay, so that is why till where can my start go? So I can say that so this is the last point till where my start can go, and it is going to be nothing but, as I have already told you, start plus length, okay, minus 1 is less equal to n minus 1. Because I want to this is the last valid starting point. Okay, so this is the last valid starting point, last valid start point. Okay, I hope that this point is clear to everyone. Now what I will do is, so I will say that start plus length, okay, minus 1 is less equal to n minus 1. Okay, then I will do start plus plus. Now what are we going to do further, right? So we are going to simply say that, okay, for one more thing, let us do one more thing, since we want to store the string, or since we also want to store the string here, right? So what I can say is that if in this case, right, in this case, suppose that if the s of I and I plus 1 are same, then dp of I plus 1 will be marked as 1. Okay, and if it happens that the answer is less than 2, because if initially the answer is updated as 1, so if the answer is still updated as 1, so you can write that if you this means that you are getting a substring of length. This means what? See guys, this means what? That if s of I and I plus 1 are same, then you are getting what? You are getting a substring of length 2. So whichever substring you are getting of length 2, if you're getting a substring of length 2 which is palindromic in nature, and you still have stored only one length, okay, then in that case you need to update your answer with 2, okay, and you need to mark L as I and R as I plus 1. So starting point will be I and ending point will be I plus 1. Is this part clear or not, guys? Please let me know. And then I will come to the last loop again. Is this part clear? Are you getting my point? If I and I plus 1 are same, so I will mark dp of I plus 1 as 1. And if I and I plus 1 are same, so this means that I have found a substring of length 2. So if I found a substring of length 2 and still I am which is palindromic, and still I am storing only the one length substring as the maximum palindromic substring, so I need to update my answer as 2, and I will mark the starting point of that palindromic substring as I and the ending point as I plus 1. Is this also clear? Please give me plus 1 and hit the like button, guys, if you are clear with this point as well. Is it clear to everyone, guys? Please hit the like button and give me a plus 1 if you are clear with this. Is everyone clear with this idea, guys? Please let me know. Clear with this as well or not? Okay, Rishit is clear. What about Mau? Are you clear with it, Mau, as well? What about Vanchika? What about Venkatesh? And what about all the other people who are still watching the stream? Okay, he says yes. What about others? Okay, Mau is also clear, right? So see, basic thing is that initially I have marked L is equal to 0, R is equal to 0, because because the minimum substring, the maximum initially I can say that the minimum substring that will be palindromic will be of length 1, and that will be the very first substring. So I'm just marking it, right, 0 0 substring. So very first character indirectly you can say. So I'm marking dp of I as 1. Okay, smaller results are calculated. I as 1, because if length is 1, right, then this will be done if length is 2. So I will run I till less equal to n minus 2 na, till the second last character. I can only go till the second last character. So if s of I is equal to I plus 1, then I will mark the dp of I plus 1 as 1. And if it happens that my answer is still 1, so if I have found a substring of length 2, right, which is palindromic in nature, then I will update dp of I plus 1 as 1. And if still I'm storing only one length as maximum, so I'll update the answer with 2. L as starting point will be I and ending point will be I plus 1. Okay. After this, I will run a loop for 3 length till L is length is less equal to n, and I will do a length plus plus. Very sorry for that. Okay. So yeah, I will do a length plus plus. Is this part clear to everyone? Please write yes or no, guys. Okay. Is this part clear? Right. And then what will be the what for this length? What can be the starting points? So as I already told you, if you have a string, okay. If suppose that if you are having a string, just give me a second. Suppose that, guys, if you are having a string, then you suppose, and you are having you are checking for length 3, then from here to here you can consider, right? So the start can be 0 also, right? From here to here also you can consider, so start can be 1. Then maybe from here to here you can consider, right? Okay, this much of length 3 if you're considering for length 3. But can you consider from here to here? No, you cannot consider from here to here. So that is why there will be a last starting point that I need to give. So similarly in this loop I have done now, that I is because for I plus 1, for the last guy will be not be available. So here also my start needs to go till this point. So normally what we will say here is that this will be the last starting point, right? If it starts from here, suppose, and it ends here, which will be of length 3. Okay, it ends here. Suppose this length is 3. So as I have already showed you here, just give me a second. Yeah. So suppose if I am considering the length as 3, and this is the thing. So length is equal to 3 means I'm considering substrings of suppose length as 3. Okay. So if I'm considering substrings of length as 3, then if the starting point is 2, then last valid point is 4. So if 2 plus length, okay, start plus length minus 1 is less equal to n minus 1. So n is what? N value is 5 here. So you can see here this thing will be what? 4, okay, is less equal to n minus 1, that is n is if n is 5, so this is 4. So this is the last valid point. Is this clear? Please write CLR if this point is clear, why I'm running the start till here. Right. So start plus length minus 1 is less equal to n minus 1, because this will be the last valid starting point that I can consider of length 3, or whatever length I'm considering. So that is why I'm putting this condition here. Is this clear to everyone, guys? Please write yes in the chat if you're clear with this, and then I can proceed further if you're clear with this much point. Okay, is everyone clear with this much point, guys? Please repeat if answer is equal to one part. Okay, so yeah, basically what I'm saying here, Vanshika, is that suppose that, see, Vanshika, what happens if ith character and I plus 1th character are same? Then in that case I can say that I am having a palindromic substring of length 2. So I will mark dp of I and I plus 1 as same, that is a substring starting from I and ending at I plus 1 is a palindromic substring, so I'm marking it as 1. And if I have a substring of length 2, okay, are you getting? If I have a substring of length 2 which is palindromic in nature, and still I have stored the maximum length of palindromic substring as 1, then I need to update it. Now, is that clear, Vanshika? Please tell me. Right? Are you clear with this point? If I'm getting a substring of length 2, which is palindromic, then and still I have stored the maximum palindromic substring length as 1, then I need to update it as 2, and I need to update the starting point as I and ending point as I plus 1. Is that clear now? Other people are also clear with it or not? If I am getting, see, if I and I plus 1 are same, so this means I will get a palindromic substring of length 2. Okay, and still my answer is storing the maximum length as 1, so I need to update the maximum length as well as the L value as I and R value as I plus 1. All right, now what I will do is I'll run from length 3 till length n. And as I said, that you can as I have already told you, you can have the starting point from here to here, then this can be the start, this can be the start. But as you can clearly see, if I will have this as the start and here it will end, so this will not be valid. So my start needs to be in a limit. So this, if I will consider this particular string, suppose this is the string that I'm having, so I will erase some of the parts from here, extra parts, right? I know I'm taking some time, but you will understand it very much clearly, right, guys? So just a second here. Okay, so what I will be doing here is you can see here that this will be the last valid if length is 3, suppose. So this from here till here it is going, right? So I can see, I can have this as the starting point, right? Because I can consider from here till here this much, right? Then I can consider from here till here, then I can consider from here till here, right? So basically I'm saying that start can start from 0, but this is the last starting point till which it is going, right? So basically you can observe that it will be nothing but the last valid start value I can find with start plus length minus 1 is less equal to n minus 1. Okay, then when I'm running it, so what is the ending point here? Okay, if a string is running like this and it has certain length, okay, so what will be the ending point? So let me just tell you this, right? Just a second. So if you consider this particular substring, let's say, okay, I'll have it as 0 1 2 3 4. Okay, suppose the length value is 3 here, guys. Okay, just a second. Suppose that the length value is 3, guys. Suppose length is equal to 3 here. Now if this is the starting point, okay, if this is the starting point, so what will be the ending point of it? Anybody can tell me? If this is the starting point, right, guys, so what will be the ending point? Ending point will be somewhere here, right? This will be the ending point. So how do I find the ending point, right? How do I find the ending point? So ending point is going to be what? Ending point is going to be nothing but here you can say is here it is 3 in this case, right? So how do I find it? Basically what can I say? So ending point is nothing but start plus length minus 1. Okay, you can see here ending point will be nothing but start plus length minus 1. Okay, this is basic mathematics. You can see start plus the length. If I'll do 1 plus 3, so it will go at 4, so it will consider this much length, but basically I have to go till here only, so I have to subtract minus 1 from it. So is that clear also, everyone? Start plus length minus 1. Very good, guys. Very good, very good. Yes, so the ending point is going to be this much. So I'll consider this as start plus end minus 1. Okay, now what do we mean by dp, right? Can I say, guys, that in dp smaller results are stored, right? Can I say dp does what, right? Deep, like we are using the bottom of dp. Okay, so dp is what? dp is nothing but small मिलाते जाओ large बनता जाएगा, ठीक है? प्लीज राइट +1 इन द चैट. डू यू अग्री विथ मी? डीपी क्या है? छोटे छोटे रिजल्ट को मिलाते जाओ, बड़ा रिजल्ट बन जाएगा. मतलब if you are at a bigger result, so a smaller result must have already been calculated. Correct? Please write yes in the chat. Now you want to check what? See, now you have the starting point, okay, and you have the ending point. So suppose, guys, that I am considering a particular kind of scenario where what I am having is, suppose this is the start, okay, suppose, guys, that this is the start, okay, and suppose, guys, that this is the end. Now what I am saying is that normally what I would have done, I would have run a loop. But now what is the scenario? The scenario is that, suppose that if it happens that s of start, okay, if this character at this point, okay, if the character at this particular point is the same as the character at this particular point, understand this thing very clearly. Okay, you need to understand there are two conditions that we need to validate. Okay, if it happens, right, if it happens that the character at this particular point, okay, if the character at this point is equal to the character at the ending, okay, if they are same, so can I conclude that the substring is palindrome? Please write yes or no. Can I say that? Think about it. Because suppose that in this I am having let's say what I'm having is let's say I am having something like like let's say I'm having Rishit here, okay, RISHINT. So let's say in even in what I'm having is, just a second, what I will have is, let's say I will have GEEKG. Okay, let me not write this. Let me write something like GPT. Let's say GAP GAP and then X, and then I'm writing let's say, let me write X here, okay, and let me write G here. So if the first and the last character are same, so can I always like see if you are having in the length, in the case of length, when the length was 2, so if I and I plus 1 were same, then you could have said that they were palindromic in nature because only their length was 2, right? So that was fine. But here if the starting and the ending of this segment are same, so can I say that, can I mark the dp of can I mark this thing? Can I directly say that dp of start end will be 1? Yes or no? No. Please write no in the chat. Please write no in the chat. No, I cannot say this, right? Can I mark this as 1? No, I cannot mark this as 1. No, I cannot mark this as 1, right? Because if even if the starting and the ending character are same, then I cannot mark it as 1. No, but the dp stores the smaller result. So what I will say is that, okay, tell me one thing, right, guys? So we cannot say it. I agree with you that we cannot say this thing, right? But guys, tell me this thing, right? Suppose that I am having a bigger string, right? And in this case, suppose that like let me not put the this part here. Okay, suppose somewhere here I'm having my start, okay, and somewhere here I'm having my end. But see, so what if this guy and this guy are same, right? That is fine. if this guy, suppose this is n and this is n, or maybe I can name it as m, right? M, right? Now suppose the starting and the ending are same. In that case, what situation can help us to determine, right? Suppose guys that what will be the string in between, right? So if you will consider from here to here, right, can I say that from here to here, if this particular internal substring that I'm having from here till here, if it is palindromic, like see, there are two conditions that I need to validate. Okay, if the substring that is lying in between, okay, if it is palindromic and the first and the last character are same, right? If the start and the end are same and in between the string is palindromic, then only I can say that the overall thing is palindromic, correct? Then only I can say that this whole part from the starting till end is palindromic. Please write yes in the chat, guys, if you're clear with this thing, right? What I'm saying is, if I'm having the start and the end, right? So if the whole string has to be palindromic, so first thing is that if the starting and ending characters are same and in between everything is palindromic, right? Correct. Very good. Yes. So that is what we can. That is why we can say that you can consider this point as what, guys? You can consider this point as start plus one. Okay. So let me write it properly. So we can consider this point as what? Start plus one. Okay. And we can consider this point as what? End minus one. Okay, so you can see here, like let me just tell you. So suppose that you have this point, so this will be what? Start plus one, right? So if it happens that the first character and last character are same, and at the same time it happens that dp of what? It happens that dp of start plus one end minus one is equal to one. Okay, so this will mean that in between the string that we are having, it will be palindromic. Then we will mark this as I. Are you getting my point? Please write yes in the chat, guys. Is this clear? Are you getting this point or not? Is this point clear, guys, or not? Okay, so in this case, maybe I can say that I can write this as madam, right? So sorry, yeah, like ada you can see, right? So basically what I'm saying is, if in between string is what? So if the start in between string, how can I check that in between whatever segment is lying, if it is palindromic or not? I can directly check it by using the chota wala result, right? Because chota wala result is already calculated, the smaller result is already calculated. So dp of start plus one or end minus one already calculated हो चुका होगा, क्योंकि are you getting my point, guys, or not? छोटा रिजल्ट तो ऑलरेडी, छोटी लेंथ का रिजल्ट तो ऑलरेडी कैलकुलेटेड होगा। अगर अगर मैं 5 लेंथ यहाँ पे, सी हेयर माई लेंथ इज 5, राइट? इफ आई एम चेकिंग फॉर द लेंथ एज 5, देन 3 लेंथ का तो ऑलरेडी स्टोर्ड होगा ना, तो ये वाला मैं चेक कर लूंगा इस सेगमेंट से इस सेगमेंट का। आई विल चेक दिस डायरेक्टली by using this property that if the start dp of start plus 1 end minus 1, if it is equal to 1, so this means that in between the segment that I'm having, it is palindromic in nature. Please write yes in the chat. Is it clear to everyone? Yes or no? Clear plus plus is what I want. If you have stayed till now and you're clear with this, so please let me know, guys. Okay, so that is why what I will say is that if it happens, right? So what are the two conditions that I should be satisfying? That if it happens that in the string, okay, let me just put an enter here. So if it happens, right, if it happens that the string that I'm having, if the current starting point is equal to the ending point, okay, and at the same time what happens is, in the dp, the between part, right, the between part should also be palindromic, right? So that is why I'm saying, similarly in Nitin also, right? If you are talking about Nitin also, right, so what will happen? I am saying that if the start and the end are same, okay, and in between the part is palindromic, so in between part, how I can check? I can check if the start and the end are same, and dp of start plus 1 end minus 1, if it is equal to 1, so this means that in between part is what? Palindromic. So if the in between part is palindromic, and it happens that s of start, okay, is equal to s of end, so if this guy and this guy are the same, right, then in that case I can say that the overall part will be palindromic. So that is why I'm taking this in order of one time. It should be length, not end. No, it will be end only. It will be end because I have determined that, yeah, here it should be length. Okay, sorry. Yeah, start plus length minus 1. Very sorry, Rishabh. Yeah, this will be the thing is equal to sorry, dp of start plus 1, okay, and this will be end minus 1 is equal to 1, if this is the case, right? So if this is the case, in that case what I will say is that if the current length that I am having, right, if this current length that I am having, if it is greater than the answer that maximum length answer that I have stored till now, then in that case I will say that in the L I will store the starting point, okay, and in this R I will store the ending point, okay. That is what I'm going to do. So is this part also clear to everyone, guys? Please tell me, is this clear? I hope that this part is also very much clear to all of you, right? And I will also update the answer with this particular length, right? So if this is palindromic, then I will check that if this particular length is greater than my answer, then I will update my answer with this particular length, and I will say that the starting point will be the L will be start. L and R are going to determine for the final answer. So the L will be equal to start and R will be equal to end. And at the end, what I will do is I will simply say that I can simply say that I will simply declare a resultant string initially as null, and then what we can do is we can simply say that we can iterate, let's say our I from where I starts from L, okay, and I is less than equal to R. That is the final substring first and the last index that we have stored, okay, and then we will do an I plus plus. So in that segment we'll iterate, okay. So suppose we had a string, okay, and then in that string we are able to found that this L and R length is the maximum segment length. So I will keep on running I one by one, so that I can store all the characters of that, right? And I can return the final string. So I'll say that result plus is equal to what? S of I. That is what I can do here. And let me just name it as a small string if it is a bigger string. And in the end, I can just return the result. Is that clear to everyone, guys? Please tell me. Is this part clear? Did you enjoy this or not? Everyone, please tell me. Right. So yeah, this is what I'm going to do here. Let's see if it works. If answer is equal to 1, so I think I should declare it. Okay, I should declare this as answer. That would be better. Sorry, guys. Initially, I'll mark the answer as 1. Yeah, I have taken it as answer. Okay, so instead of mx, I have taken it as answer. Right now, let's see. It says start is not declared, so I will declare the starting point as well. Okay, and now let's try and compile it up to see if it is working or not. I hope it will work. It's not working properly. Why? Did I made any mistakes in the calculation or something? L is equal to this, R is equal to this. So from L to R, I'm considering all the characters. So am I not able to consider all? Your output is this much. Expected output is this much. So there is some issue with my code. I think. Just give me a second. What is that issue? End will be this much. Just let me think. So yeah, basically initially I'm marking the answer as 1, dp of n, and I'm declaring I have the n. L and R are declared. Then I'm running dp of I as 1. Then I start from 0 and I is less than equal to n minus 2, right? Because I'll run till the second last character. So I plus 1 I'm checking, and if that is so, then I will mark dp of I plus 1 as 1. And then what I'm doing here is, if the answer is 1, so I'll update it to 2, and L and R are updated. Then the length is 3, and I'm running the start also. Am I missing something, guys? In the side inner loop, okay, okay. Uh, in the side inner loop, in the side inner loop, we need to mark. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry, sorry, very sorry. Yeah, correct, Rishit. Sorry, yeah, I forgot basic part, that in that case I need to mark dp of start end as 1. No, sorry, very sorry. Yeah. So if it happens that from this is if the first and the last character, starting and the ending character are same, and in between the string is palindromic, guys, then I will mark dp of start end as 1. Also, we did not initialize dp with all zeros. Actually, that is not a problem. That is not a problem for us. Okay, yeah. So when it is the case now, then I will mark dp of start end as 1. Okay, now it is working. So let's now try and submit it. You can mark it as 0 if you want initially. That is fine. Okay, still my code is not running. Why? Oh, still it is not running fine. What can be the issue here? I'm having the starting point as well, and I'm running it till this point. Start plus plus also is something that I'm doing. If it happens that the starting and the ending are same, and dp of start plus 1 and minus 1 is 1, then in that case I'm marking this as 1. Okay, and if the current length is greater than the answer, then the answer will get updated with length and everything is done. Then what is the issue? I'm running a loop also. Is there any issue other than this that you can find here? I think I'm making a mistake somewhere, but where am I making the mistake? So if the start plus length minus 1 is less equal to n, okay, that is also fine. Let's check. So I am declaring this n, that is fine for me. Then I'm having the dp also, that is also fine. Then I'm having answer initially as one, that is fine. L and R are also fine. dp of I as one is also fine. Okay. Then I'm running inside. Okay. I is less equal to n minus. This is also fine. Okay, this much is fine. Okay. Then some issue is with this loop only. So I'm running the length as 3. Then till n I'm running length plus plus. Start will be 0. Then start plus length minus 1. Okay. Is less equal to n minus 1. That is also fine. Then I will do start plus plus. Then start ending point will be this much. That is fine. So if in the string it happens that the starting guy and the ending guy are the same, and at the same time the start plus 1 and the end minus 1, if it is 1, then I mark this as 1 and the length is greater. So the length will be greater obviously. So yeah, I think I'm making some mistake somewhere. Can you tell me guys where I'm making the mistake? I think, let's say if I will do what, instead of running something like this, right? Suppose that what I can do is, if I will just return s dot sub str, okay, from L comma what if I have to run it till the length, so what will I run it like, r minus L plus 1 na? So if I'll cut this much substring, does this work? Okay, it works on the samples. Let's try and submit it also. There's some sort of mistake that I have made somewhere. Length starts from 3, so I'm considering for length 2 also. Should I consider this as I plus 1 is less than n or something like that? Let me just check this out. Still, it does not work. There is some issue. Just give me a second. Uh, yes, I is less equal to n minus 2 basically. Okay, here. Yeah, so this was fine. Then it is 1. So I'm having L and R. It's not a palindrome. We didn't set dp of is not a palindrome. We should mark it as 0. If it is not a palindrome, we should mark it as 0. I don't think. Okay. If it is not a palindrome, so then I should mark it as 0. Yeah, you are correct. So yeah, if it is not a palindrome, then I should mark it as 0. Correct. Very good. Yeah, this is the point that I'm missing. I should mark it as 0. Yeah. Is this part clear? Correct. Yeah, Rishit is saying the right thing. That if it is a palindrome, then it is marked as 1, and if the length is greater, so I'm updating it. Otherwise, if that starting ending point is not this thing, then I will mark it as 0. So instead of that, maybe what is the better thing? Better thing is that I should have initialized it to 0. So I will write mem set, okay, then dp comma size of dp, okay, comma minus 1. So initially I can mark it as like, sorry, I'll mark it as 0 initially. So this will be better, right? Yeah, now it will be fine. So if it is not, then yeah, I will initialize it to 0, then it will always work. Correct. I should have initialized it to 0. Actually earlier I had, still it is not working. Why? Just give me a second. What is happening here? Okay, let's say in the else part, what I will do is I'll mark dp of start and end as 0, right? Let's say if I'm doing this thing now, is that fine? Have I made any mistakes here? R minus L plus 1. It's simpler. But I'm still not able to get the substring. Why? R is equal to end. Am I still missing something? I am able to get this thing, but not the actual answer. So some initialization part is also going wrong here. Basically in this loop, I'm missing something. What am I missing here? Start plus one and end plus n minus one is one. That is fine. Then this will be the length. So in the answer, I'm storing the final length. So shall I cut it for that much length itself from this answer? A second. It will all work on the samples. That's fine. But what about this? Why is it not able to store length, greater lengths? So if the length is greater than the answer, then the answer will be equivalent to length, and starting and ending will get updated also. Which part am I missing here? Like this is the thing, and then this is the thing. Am I missing something here, Rishit? Also, do this for the loop length is equal to 2 case. Okay, okay. You were saying that do it for the 2 case also. Yeah, else I should mark it as 0. Yeah, you are correct. So what I can do here is else I can mark the dp of I and I plus 1 as 0. Yeah, if basically I should have declared the dp as 0, that would have been much better. Basic mistakes, and you end up doing this, right? Yeah, now it's working fine. Let's try and submit it also. Correct. So yeah, this gets accepted. So is this problem clear to everyone, guys? Please let me know. Is this problem clear to all of you or not, guys? What do you think? Now it is clear. Other people can tell me, right? So yeah, I did not initialize, like when it is not palindromic, then I need to mark it as 0. ACOP in the chat, guys, if you are clear with this, right? So you can clearly see here that I'm running one order of n loop. Sorry, I took a lot of time. I should have initialized it to 0. Very bad. My bad. Okay. So yeah, basically I'm running the for checking. See, what is the time complexity? So for length one, I'm running manually and checking it. So I'm taking order of n time for that. Then for length two, what I'm doing is I'm running it. So I'm taking order of n time for that. And then for the rest of the lengths, I'm running a loop from length three till length n. So this outer loop will take order of n time. And for every one of that, I'm having a window for that, right? So I'm having a start loop that is from 0 till the point. So this will also take order of n in the worst case. So overall this is a n square loop, right? So this is order of n square loop. So what is the overall time complexity of my code? The overall time complexity now is order of n square for this thing, for running the complex loop, then order of n. So it is overall order of n square itself, right? So is the time complexity clear to everyone? I hope that everyone is clear now, right? So I'll just do a quick summary of this code so that you can again understand, right? Please write plus one in the chat. So sorry, Mo, and a lot of people are still sitting. Thanks a lot, guys, right? I did not expect this, right? But thanks a lot for sitting till the end. But I hope that you have understood this, right? Can you now do you like see? Can you feel this? Using the smaller problems, right? That is the main idea. The main thing is that small milate jao bada banta jayega. So basically, the thing is that in order to calculate the bigger result, you depend on the smaller result. So that is where you are using DP here. Okay, you could have declared a DP in the Boolean type also, true, false also. I earlier wrote the code in Java, so because Java is also same language. So when I wrote it in Java, so I declared the DP, and when in Java initially it is declared as 0 only, right? When you declare something, an array, so it is everything is initialized as 0. So that is why it was working. Now it was not working. Okay, so yeah, you can see here basically n is equal to size. Then I will have n cross n DP. Initially, I'll mark the maximum length as 1, and the character will be set to first, that is L is equal to 0, R is equal to 0. Then single characters, that is for length 1. Okay, for length 1 I will always mark it as 1. Then after that, for length 2, what I will do is I'll iterate, and if I and I plus 1th are I and I plus 1th are same, then it will be a palindromic of length 2. So I'll mark DP of I and I plus 1 as 1, indicating that this is starting and this ending. This is a palindromic. And if the answer is still 1, so if the maximum palindromic string is still stored as 1, so I'll update it as 2, and I'll mark L as I and R as I plus 1, starting and ending point. And then after that, what I will do is DP of I, otherwise I will mark DP of I plus 1 as 1. Then I'm running a loop from length 3 till length n, and I'll always consider the different starting points, and this is the last valid starting point for me, and I'll have the ending point. So if it happens that the s of start is equal to the s of end, right? So if it happens that the first and the last character are same, so how do we use the DP? And in between, if the start plus 1 and n minus 1, if it is 1, so this means that in between the string that is there, if it is palindromic. So as I already told you, that if you talk about madam, right? So if this is your start, right? If this is your start, okay, and this is your end, Then in that case, if it happens that from start plus 1, okay, and end minus 1, so if it happens that dp of, as I said, start plus 1, okay, and n minus 1, if it is indicating the value as 1, so this means that the inner part is palindromic. And at the same time, if it happens that s of start, right, is equal to s of end, okay, so in this whole case we can simply say that we will mark the dp of start and end as 1, okay, because this whole will be palindromic in nature. So that is what I'm doing here. And if the length is greater than answer that I have stored, maximum length that I have stored so far, so answer will get updated to this current length, and l will be the start, r will be the end. And now here now what I can do is otherwise you will mark it as dp of start end as 0. And what you can do here is now you can simply run a loop now, okay, I starts from l, I is less equal to r, that will be better for every language, right, I plus plus. So what I will do is I'll do result plus is equal to s of I, and I'll declare the result as well, okay. So I'll declare string result initially as null here, and now I will return the result. So I was using a substring function, that was better, but you have different implementations of substring, so I think this is much more fine, right? From l to r you are storing all the characters. S plus is equal to 1. Okay, so you can hit the like button, give me a +1, clear OP in the chat, and now I will share the code with you. So yeah, you can see I took 12 attempts and fourth time I'm passing it. Okay, yeah. So what I will quickly do is I'll just copy this whole code segment, and this was not discussed in any of the discussed section. Also, I noticed that. Okay, so yeah, let me just open the GFB ID and I'll provide you with this code. I hope that you did enjoy this particular problem, guys. Okay. So yeah, let me just now give the code in this language, and you can try it out on your own as well. This problem has been asked in a lot of companies, and you can write GFG in the chat. This was a very good problem, guys. Okay, so yeah, copy, and now I will paste it here. This was a very good problem, and it was asked to me in one of the interviews also some time back. So right, so yeah, this was the problem. I hope that you did enjoy the problem, guys. If you will again look at this particular thing, that which companies have asked this particular problem, so you can again see Amazon, Microsoft, Samsung, Make My Trip, Visa, Google, Qualcomm, Groupon. So a lot of companies have asked it, so that's why it's a very good problem, to be honest. I hope that you did enjoy the session throughout. Thanks a lot, guys, for believing in me. Thanks a lot for watching this session, and make sure to share it with your friends if you find this session valuable, and if you think that your knowledge of DP has increased. So after this video is over, make sure to comment that as well. I will tell you about this later. Okay, thanks a lot, and thanks a lot, guys, and thanks for joining, and thanks for staying till the end. Okay, thank you, everyone. And I will, after this session is over, I'll ask people to watch it at 2x. Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot. Take care. I'll see you in the next week with another POD.